Everybody, I hope. Is gonna be. A whale. Yes, why is the audio? I don't know. I did well. Best way to the end of the year stream, right? Dropping. This is really not working the right way. Okay. Wait. Okay. A2 seems to be working. Yeah, audio is definitely Yes, and I don't know why. But you know what? Let's just make sure that work. Probably get. Log the cloggables and let's see if. If I am supposed to talk, work this. Worst possible. Bolts and maybe this is gonna work well. I hope this is gonna work better now. Maybe perhaps. Yeah, must have been the attack time funny thing that I had here. Could be working now. One hopes. And yeah, okay. Oof. Audio issues solved, I hope. This. Okay, anyway. This is probably gonna be more of a VOD for a lot of you. But yeah, if you can hear me now, let me know in the chat if any other technical issues, audio issue. How many times do I have to prop cables up here? Anyway, so what am I going to be talking about? I'm going to be talking about a bunch. Audio is still glitching. No, terrible. I just downloaded the new OBS, but hopefully. Oh boy. Do I blame the new version of OBS? Talk about bad luck. Well, better now. Everything off. Okay, is this better now? Hopefully not. Maybe perhaps. Okay. I assume my microphone has been basically up the area around me. But it seems to be... Oh boy. Hope I didn't mess with the ports too much. Audio is still glitching. Okay, if I am glitching still and the recordings work... What gives? What gives? Okay. Understandable 3 out of 5. Okay. I am very, very happy that I'm not actually running a stream today for any event. Click. Oh, better click here. That. Now, is this better? This should be better, I hope. Okay. Okay, yeah, this is boosting for sure. Oh, this is probably a bit too loud, actually. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so... Crisis averted, and the main issue was basically, yeah, it was one of my ports in this little box I'm using to stream and whatnot, glitching. So, here we go. Thank you so much, ShadowNet, for making sure that I get my audio sorted. And let's talk 2020, let's talk 2021. Why am I going to be talking about this? Why you should listen to me about this? Well, if you've been watching my stuff online, you're probably aware of the fact that I've been doing a bit of stuff around Netrunner. I tried doing some other things regarding other games and other online things, but I wasn't really much into it, and I decided to change that in the coming year and basically split my time a bit more between Netrunner, which is still the #1 game for me, the #1 content source in a way here on my channel, but also add a bunch of other things. You probably know, or you may have noticed somehow, that I've been playing some Apex Legends, I've been playing some Rocket League here and there. I do have an absolutely monstrous backlog, or an absolutely monstrous, scary, big collection of games that I have acquired over the years in different ways, including, you know, all the freebies, for example. There's a ton of freebies every year that you can pick up on a lot of platforms. And so here we are, and I thought I'm going to also focus on that for a while. We'll see how that works out, of course. It's all depending on the timing, and it's all depending on what exactly I will be able to pull off on this computer right now, which has a new window now, and I can see into its shiny, glittery guts, which is very, very exciting. And well, it will also depend, of course, on my timing. A lot of different stuff happening on different fronts, be it well, game related, or be it work related, or be it life related. So not always do I have the time to just sit down, relax, and do this. But I really, really do hope that I'll get to talk to you more often about, well, the fun I'm having while playing games, and share with you, and have a community of sorts around my silly gaming and my terrible puns. Although I hope that my terrible puns are not going to enter the conversation too much, because apparently they're just way too terrible. Anyway, how have you been? Because I've been blabbing about me for a while now, and gabbing also about my terrible technical issues. I'm looking at the other screen here, just going, is it gonna blow now? No, it's still fine. How have you been? How has your year been? I have had a bit of a wild ride, up and down, probably like everybody else. But coming out at the end of it, more or less okay, which is, you know, could be much worse, could be terrible. And honestly, given all the situations outside, given all the context and the current moment, I'm quite lucky. So, knock on wood. Oh no, now the microphone is gonna stop working again. Hopefully not. But anyway, oh yeah, the filters again popping up. Gee, this is what happens, you know, when you're testing stuff and then you actually make it work, and then you go live, and then suddenly all the stuff is not working anymore, and then you have to work on stuff while you go live. Anyway, Longy, hey there, good to hear you, good to see you as well. So, do tell how you're doing. We did have a few bits and pieces of news popping up here and there. And actually today is basically a quick look back at 2020 and a quick look forward at 2021, and well, a bit of a joke as well later on. So stay tuned for that, because this is the almost last year of the year. We're basically 3 hours away here from the last year of the year and a bit. And I wanted to try something else this time. Hopefully people are not gonna get too angry about it. Hopefully they're not gonna get too freaked out about it. Or they're just, well, maybe people are gonna enjoy it. We'll see how that works. Anyway, I hope you're having a great end of the calendar year, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. I hope you're gonna have it the safest, the nicest, the tastiest, and the most pleasant way possible in the next 24 hours as well. No idea where I'm gonna be, what I'm gonna do, although it's probably just gonna be home and chilling. So that's gonna be the way to go for me. I hope you're gonna be doing whatever it is that you've got planned, and it's gonna work out for you. So anyway, 2020, quite a big year for me, because, well, a lot of things happened, but for streaming, I basically just got into it. So, you know, I spent quite a lot of hours streaming since March, although not as many as I wanted, because time, you know, has been moving fast. I've been involved in a bunch of different things in different places, and streaming was not always on the menu. So, well, we are here right now, and I have to say that for 2021, I definitely want to make it a bit more structured, make it a bit more fun for myself, and learn a couple of new things and try a couple of new things as well. You may have noticed that I do have a website for my projects regarding Netrunner and streaming mostly, of course. And the two new formats I've been trying to slowly sneak into the global meta of the Netrunner players, and more or less successful for lockdown, which is definitely a fun thing. Oh yeah, I haven't actually announced lockdown just yet for January, but don't worry, it's coming back. That's not going to be the spoiler for today. What is going to be a spoiler for today is something else, but it's going to pop up in a few minutes. I'm just basically chilling here and making sure that I have a computer that works and the audio that works, right? Also for 2021, what you can expect is, hopefully, if that works out, fingers crossed, a few more collaborations. So I'm actually going to try and figure out how to work together on streaming in different ways with a bunch of interesting people. And that's going to be about Netrunner, hopefully, but also about other things. I just have to write a few emails here and there, and there will be plenty of time to do so, because that's going to be a bunch of experiments throughout the year, time permitting, of course. And based on what will be possible to pull off, there might be some cool experiments popping up on the channel. So there might be a bunch of one-off things, there might be some mini-series popping up, there might be a lot of different stuff happening, but it's still going to be happening from my little headquarters here. I'm not planning to do it anywhere else, because, well, guess what? We still have a pandemic going on, and who knows how this is going to play out. Fingers crossed to everybody getting vaccines and getting, well, safely to a period where we're actually going to be able to get more or less back to normal. But again, let's forget about the viruses, let's forget about the pandemics, let's forget about people asking super silly questions on the chat. Hello there, Viz. So, for example, one of the things I'm going to be doing next year as well, that is true and tested and whatnot, I might be working with the folks from Strategos, which is a Polish game company. And I happen to know these two magnificent gentlemen in person, and they're absolutely awesome. And there might be some more board games popping up on the stream here and there from Strategos, and not only, but yeah, that's the plan. Or that is a part of the plan, as Joker would say. What am I wearing tonight? Basically the same things I have been wearing for the last 15 years, so I actually haven't changed anything. Hello there, Krusty. Scoops. Yes, well... yeah, I'm gonna take another 3 or 4 minutes just to make sure the configuration works well, and then I'm gonna jump into something that's gonna be a premiere, in a way. And I hope to do it, again, for the Netrunner folks, a bit more frequently, but we'll see how this works out. So anyway, another great thing about 2020 and streaming that I learned is it doesn't really work if you try and turn it into a big project all of a sudden and have it in, you know, you cannot really start a one-person media company at home if you don't have any experience, and if you don't have any practice, and if you don't have any, you can have all the energy and all the ideas, but you really need to put a lot of sweat and tears into, and for example broken microphones, into making something work. So that's, for example, why you haven't seen a lot of wild stuff from me just yet, because I'm just getting my head wrapped around this and trying to figure out how exactly things could work, what I could do on my own, what actually I could be finding somebody to do for me, and work with really talented people out there to get, you know, the likes of the really amazing animated backgrounds you've seen during the Continental Championships made by Krembler for Fornisei. That was just brilliant, and I think it was one of the best things I've seen on stream in general this year when it comes to Netrunner. You know, just super awesome, cool animations of really great art, really well made. Had a lot of fun using these and mixing the screens for that. And yeah, learning production in the background, that also was kind of video production. That was quite a revelation for me as well, and I never had much experience with this. I did have some radio experience, I will mention the Versus series, indeed, Longy, and chips and cola are not healthy, Krusty, for the evening. But hey, you're your own person. You do know what you want to do. So learning production on the video side as well on a home computer, nonetheless, and without any wild setups like present filters and all that stuff and special lights or anything like that. Just kind of 2 screens, a computer, and some software that you can get for free and play with. That was a really cool experience and a really cool series of lessons. And if you've been watching my streams in the past several months, 9 months now, oof, it's been a while, right? It's like a baby. Time to deliver. And yeah, I did gain a few kilograms over the last few weeks because, hey, good food is good. What can I say? And it's hard to move here when it's not as sunny as it used to be. So making these streams have been a great experience for me, and whatever glitches, whatever issues have been there, whatever problems, technical problems may have popped up, because there have been some here and there, I am super grateful for all the people watching the streams, for all the people participating, for all the people interacting, because that has been a great community building exercise as well. I haven't been maybe the most regular streamer, but when there were big events happening and I could stream or participate or produce, people have always shown up. And that was really, really, really awesome. And, you know, it makes sense to do things like this for yourself, just to test your own skills or just to learn and practice and play and have fun with it. But when you have people who participate, who interact, who say, hey, I'm enjoying this, it is basically doubling or tripling or whatever the amount of people. It's multiplying your satisfaction from doing this, your fun from that you get from doing things like this, for sure. So I haven't been much of a creative person in the past when it comes to those things, but now I definitely have joined the creative class. Well, no, not the creative class. Maybe the streaming class, the streaming masses. Everybody's been streaming a lot of video this year, I wonder what the statistics for the globe are, for the global internet, when it comes to the amount of videos streamed by people, so basically live streams created by people, last year, over the last 12 months, as compared to, let's say, 2019, right? Might be a very interesting number to compare and see how many people got their first webcams, how many people got their first streaming setups or software setup. And speaking of that, Diogened, you have a question in there. Indeed, what software and platform OS I use? I'm running Windows, the latest, and I'm running OBS Studio 26.1.0 on a 64-bit platform. It's a really cool tool. You do have to get used to it a bit. I also use Streamlabs in the beginning, and I do have it installed as well, just in case. Streamlabs is I would say, a more commercial fork of OBS. OBS is completely open source, and Streamlabs is ran by Streamlabs.com with some tweaks to the UI, with some basically making it a bit more of a user-friendly piece of software, and some features that are proprietary to Streamlabs.com, whereas OBS is just this very powerful free editor that allows you to do a lot of cool stuff with a bunch of things on your screen, and you can probably add a source for anything that you can plug into a computer, and several things actually you can just connect to your computer remotely as well. I've learned about a few interesting solutions that allow you to stream, for example, the screen of your mobile phone through OBS as well, because it becomes a website and whatnot. A lot of really, really cool toys out there. A lot of stuff to learn still for me. I'm just getting started. So really excited about this and hoping to share this hobby and help other people get better at it if they're interested as well. And with that... because I could be babbling like this for quite a while. With that, I think Krusty is slowly running out of cola, and you don't want to eat too many chips. I am slowly running out of the evening because I also have to be doing other things, and I still have some things to share with you. So yeah, I believe it is time to take a sip of water. Cheers. Now I can actually see one of my amazing cups here. It's only half a liter, so hey, we can put a lot of coffee or a lot of tea or a lot of water into it. And what we're gonna be all about right now is a thing that is called... Oh, where are we? Wait a second. We're here, we're there, this is going here. Okay, let's click a few buttons. Let's make sure that things are in the right place. And it's not going to be anything special. If you're expecting, you know, that I'm going to be showing you something you haven't ever seen before, you might be disappointed. But basically, the idea is, and I would like to do this because I noticed that there's a bit of that going on, but usually people are quite scattered, or maybe not quite scattered, but they have to be in 5 or 6 different places to well, see some things, and then again, you may have to also follow several different places. And also, it's all, well, depending on the people developing that content, it might be everything very serious or everything rather not serious. And that's great, depending on where you're going. But I wanted to make a hybrid thing. So there will be a bit of serious things in what I'm going to be talking about. There's also going to be a bunch of silly stuff. Let's just see if this is going to work out. This is totally... Oops. There we go. This is totally a test. And this is going to be, of course, Netrunner related. For all the fans of Netrunner, this is going to be a bunch of scoops. No, I'm kidding. This is going to be something completely different. So welcome to the News Now Hour, more or less, because it's probably not going to take an hour. Basically, the short name of it is the News Now Hour, or thereabouts, also known as TNN Hot. This is going to be for December 2020, the almost last day of that month, meaning almost the last day of the year. I'm going to be presenting everything as is, so basically, I just scribbled a bunch of things here and there. It's not a stand-up, it's not a sit-down, it's not comedy. It's going to be what it's going to be. I hope you enjoy it. And I decided to put together a bunch of news and a bunch of updates and a bunch of cool things for you to follow, because I know you're all aware of everything, but maybe, just maybe, somebody out there is just not, and they would like to have a podcast, but they actually don't know where to go. Well, guess what? You're gonna find some podcasts here. Or maybe they would like to get some information about cool things happening. Well, guess what? I'm gonna tell you about this as well. And would you like to see some cool alt? Well, anyway, no. Refresh. Okay, so here we are. The News Now Hour 2020. The last one. The first one. The last one. This is fun. Let me just switch the studio mode off. And here we go. First of all, very important, very wanted, I heard, and totally not sanctioned, absolutely legit scoop updates or scoop dates or what have you. These are not in any way supported by Nisei. The fact that I am a more or less semi-active member of Nisei doesn't really carry any weight here. Please do take it with a pinch of salt or 3 barrels. But I do have some special news for you, because you may have not learned this just yet. I can give you the real reason for the new set delays. So you know that systems are getting delayed, a system gateway and system update are getting delayed. Generally, and that was not mentioned just yet, just that you know, they're both getting delayed because of compatibility issues with the older gen playmats and tokens. So the cards, when they were getting tested on older generation playmats, you know, non-Nisei playmats and non-Nisei tokens, or tokens basically released around 2014 or 15, some of those things were changing their values, the art on the cards was glitching, and players were assuming a so-called T-pose. You may have seen some examples of the T-pose elsewhere on the internet nowadays. But fortunately, the testing team and Nisei, the playtesters, who are numerous, they promised that they're working on solving these issues, and this is exactly why the cards are going to be delayed. This is not about any printing, this is not about any COVID issues. That's the actual factual real reason. Fortunately, the Nisei designing team and the people working on the art and everything else and the shape of the cards, there's a special shape team as well, card shape team. They promise that the upcoming cards will be properly rectangular. They're going to be just fine. They're going to be working on all playmats and with all tokens, so you shouldn't worry. But this does take some extra time for testing. So again, Nisei apologizes for the delays, but that's the real reason for this. Also, You may remember there's the World Championship 2020 Celebration Pack, also known as 20 Limes, and we do have, I actually got some unboxing photos. Again, COVID has not stopped logistics, maybe made it a bit harder for some people, but some people have already received those celebration packs. They opened them. I got some photos. You can see a photo of such an unboxing here. Some reactions from the people who received their packs mention things such as freshness, being just the right shade of green, more than 20 limes, because some people thought that it's only 20 limes in that box, but there's actually more than 20 limes. And apparently they're also great for salads and mixing cocktails alike, so hey, there we go. Now, you may have heard about salvage memories. In case you were living under a rock or off the grid, generally, salvage memories is a cool new format. No, I'm kidding. It's not a cool format. It's an update of the meta for standard in Netrunner. 18 cards coming back from the past metas and haunting you and destroying your life. Earlier today I've seen Andre from the Metropole Grid indexing the hell out of a poor Wayland that was just, you know, getting indexed terribly. I mean, seriously. Well, anyway, until Gateway is out, you can totally have, and you should have, and some people already have been having a lot of fun with salvage memories. So the extension, or the little tweak, as I like to call it, a little squirt of meta twisting happening right now in the world of Netrunner. Definitely an interesting idea. I haven't played a single Salvage Memories deck just yet, so I think in the new year that's going to be one of those things I'm going to try. If you haven't played Salvage Memories just yet, do give it a roll. There have been some events, and I'm going to be mentioning those later on. There are more events coming up as well, online, and probably, hopefully, fingers crossed, please, offline as well. That would be great. And system update translation kicking off, and this is... yeah, this is true. So we actually have I actually got the news from the... I heard it through the grapevine. That the absolutely, completely community and volunteer power translation, because that's absolutely true, of System Update 2021. So the set of cards that you should be able to play as kind of its own standalone meta using the large card pool of Netrunner with some edits, of course, is getting slowly translated into all the different cool languages that people are volunteering for. I heard that's basically a bunch of cool languages like French and Chinese and Italian, I think, maybe perhaps Spanish, and who knows, maybe even Polish. I have no idea about Polish, to be honest. Maybe perhaps. But also Klingon, Swedish Chef, if you remember that guy from the Muppets. Pirate, Elvish, both in the high and dark variants, Khazad, and Emoji. So you will be able to play all these cards legally once you get your hands on them. If you get a system update print version, or there will be the JNet, the Jinteki.net equivalents of that as well. I've heard that Noah is working on implementing emoji as one of the languages, so you will be able to play against people from everywhere, because of course everybody understands emoji. So there. Getting a grip now. So we're gonna be moving over to some other news. Let's talk about things happening in the community. On the Discord side of things, green level clearance reigns supreme, I think. Of course, there are other Discord servers as well, but green level clearance is definitely the news. There's a ton of stuff happening all the time. You can just imagine that with the, with the festive break happening and with all the people having a bit of extra time, maybe perhaps, and definitely a lot of energy to put into making things fun for themselves in those rather grim times. There have been a few updates happening on the Green Level Clearance Discord, which is probably my favorite place for the Netrunner community hanging out and doing things together right now. I'm not super active there, but I definitely do follow. There are new people on the mod team. There have been added some new mods. Some people you may have seen already, and they've been kind of mainstays in the community. Some new faces there as well. There are two very cool roles added, mentor and rules expert. So mentor is for people who want to teach others or want to basically help others get started with the game. Not as much teach as to explain basically what the game is about. Rules expert, well, as you may imagine, people who definitely are not afraid of quoting the shortened or the extended version of the comprehensive rules document for Nisei's continuation of the game, with 90 plus pages, of course, of rules, updates, FAQs, explanations, structures, exceptions, flows, and all that stuff. So if you are a rules expert and you want to shine, green level clearance, the Discord server has something for you as well. And there is a new role added as well for the reboot format. If you haven't seen what reboot is about, do visit green level clearance. It's a great little twist again on the meta, refreshing the game a bit as well, making it nostalgic for some others and so on. One other thing which I think is an amazing initiative, and this is something that all the credit cannot go to one person, but I should mention that Qwitwa on the channel, on the GLC Discord called NETRUNNER Help Doc, you have it over there, NETRUNNER-Help-Doc. He is a member of the UK meta, and he's working on a community-powered content pack, basically, including text and video, so there will be some documents, there might be some videos, that's the idea as well, for brand new players to get started in 2021. So this looks amazingly awesome because, as you may know, Netrunner is not a simple game to explain or to grok in a very fast way. There's just a lot of depth and a lot of variety and diversity in this game itself. But yeah, thank you, Krusty, for the Discord link. This is a great place that you can actually visit. Very easily join in and enjoy that community. And like I'm already saying right now, the NETRUNNER Help Doc, or the NETRUNNER Help content in general, because videos are going to be there as well. A great community powered project. Fingers crossed for it to work out nicely. I think it's gonna be quite brilliant because I've heard it's also gonna be updated based on player feedback. So, you know, new players jumping in and saying, I don't understand this. That's going to hopefully mean updating the content as well, just to make it a bit easier for everybody to understand. For now, it's only in English, from what I understand. It might be getting translated into other languages. We'll see. But yeah, all the information on that channel, all the people over there, they will definitely let you know what's going on with that project. So definitely head over there. In other news for communities, Reddit. This is the other community that I actually do frequent from time to time, and the Netrunner subreddit has also things in store for 2021, updating the structure of the community, so making it a bit easier for new people or for people trying to learn about the game and join the community to navigate a bit. They're rethinking a bunch of things. There's a special thread for that on the community as well. There are 15,000 users in that community. That's quite a big number, 15,000 registered users. And I'm making a bet today, you know, this is the 30th of December 2020. I'm saying that in a year it could reach 30,000. I'm not sure if it's gonna work, but I think it could actually double. Why am I saying this? I don't know. It's a bet, right? Sometimes you just bet on hunches and whatnot. But I think it's going to be 30,000 people by the end of next year. And as a spotlight thing, I'm just actually going to add this photo here by Ekudan, or E-C-U-D-A-N. So maybe Ekudan, yeah, I don't know. But well, this photo is that person playing with probably their friend over during the winter holidays, I think. And I have to say two things about this photo. It's just, let's call it this way, no sleeves. You're playing super retro because this looks just like, you know, old school tokens and everything. I mean, this is Saraswati mnemonic, so this is not a core ID. But no sleeves, and you have drinks on the table, and this looks like some good drinks, of course. But come on! And no playmats. This is pure Netrunner in the wild, so basically the equivalent of a nudist beach for card gamers. This is the nudist beach for your deck, because no sleeves, no playmat, no nothing, and there's a lot of liquid around. Scary. Stimhack is still churning along, and there is a great article with an amazing title, and I will quote it here in full. A humble request for cold to hot takes on the development and assessment of a single-sided Swiss format, appearing recently on the site. Yeah, that's basically the article that showed up there not so long ago. And it's a bunch of questions. It's a meta discussion about the single
single-sided Swiss format, because there's also a single double-sided Swiss format. I mean, the amount of repetitions here. Well, basically, I love the idea of a format which has 4 S's and an F in this, because what it means to me is super sexy science fiction. That's what it is. There is a form on that piece of news, so go to stimhack.com, click the latest article right now at the time of this recording or this live stream, and you should be able to participate in a discussion or in the formation of the single-sided Swiss format, which might mean some really cool and fast tournaments in the future. And I think one of the big challenges for the game to be more successful, more popular, is making it a bit more accessible, a bit faster, and that could be it. Speaking of popularizing the game, we have a Jumpstart, excusez-moi, tournament that started in mid-December. That's on the forums. Do go to forum.stimhack.com. Not a ton of traffic in there, because forums seem to be kind of, I don't know. There used to be a cool time for forums, and now they seem to be in decay. And I don't mean only for NETRUNNER, I mean in general. Maybe I'm in the wrong forums, but a lot of silence in online forums. People just went all to TikTok, I guess? Well, anyway. Or to their WhatsApp phone groups. I don't know. But yeah, Jumpstart is another twist on the format, another way of playing the game, or of owning the game and running custom meta. And Fighting Walloon is one of those people who have been promoting card games in general quite a lot. I've seen Fighting Walloon also in other card games, organizing tournaments, organizing different events. So getting Jumpstart organized, that's also a great thing. Do jump into forum.stimhack.com if you want to learn more about that. There's a sign-up form. You can try something out, or you can try out in the future when they have probably another Jumpstart tournament. I will not be on TikTok, because guess what? I only use TikToks, because that's the old school thing that old farts like myself use. TikTok is not for me. Neither will I be on OnlyFans, because I don't have any fans. So, if you are on the Facebook service, if you are using the Facebooks, and if you are in any of the communities over there that are for NETRUNNER, I'm not, and I actually have no idea what's going on there. It's kind of a blank slate for me. I have no idea what's going on there. There's probably a lot of stuff happening in those communities. But yeah, if you are in there, do let me know if you want to send stuff my way for the next edition of this semi-serious, semi-not serious news update. And yeah, do contact me at my email, vesper@cyberpunk.me. I'm very, very happy to take your contributions and turn them into something fun. Speaking of contributions and what people do, let's have a bit of a show and tell biz. Basically, let me walk you through the podcast paradise, because podcasts have been popping up left, right, and center recently, and that's really cool. People are getting back to talking about NETRUNNER, to having fun with NETRUNNER, to be creative about it, to be very contemplative about it, or revisionist, not in a bad way, but like maybe analytical about it. And speaking of which, one of the most prominent players of the old time, Simon Moon, coming back with a podcast with a really cool name, A Time Traveler's Guide to NETRUNNER, which is, and I quote, a podcast dedicated to answering the hypothetical question: if you could travel back in time to compete in NETRUNNER tournaments, what should you play at each one? Probably cards with some tokens, but I have no idea, of course. And Simon Moon, definitely an interesting person to listen to. Currently discussing, or in the latest episode, discussing NETRUNNER themes and cyberpunk themes related to neoliberalism. So there's 5 episodes of his musings, broodings, and entertaining, talking about the game and its history. And not only, you can find it, just look for Time Traveler's Guide to NETRUNNER on your favorite podcast platforms. I think he's visible on quite a few of them, but basically any simple internet search is gonna give you the right link. Speaking of, people who definitely know how to produce a lot of interesting content, the ShadowNet folks, they reached episode 14, and their casual, and I'm quoting again, yet vulgar Android NETRUNNER discussions focused on the meta tournament scene and the broader NETRUNNER community, basically anything NETRUNNER related, and this is a direct copy pasta from their page. they have reached episode 14 and they're doing a seasonal bake-off right now. So again, a lot of people talking about crunchy things, how to make good credit rolls, how to make good corporate waffles and all that stuff. Definitely worth listening to those folks from the ShadowNet team, inviting a ton of different guests in different ways to talk about how Sunny loves them as well, as you can see it in this amazing photo manipulation or graphic manipulation. Sunny is basically the best mom in the world with a sun in her neck. A Sunny vampire. Is she one of the Twilight people? Well, anyway. Another thing from the podcast field is the Slumscast. And again, episode 5 as well, a podcast about trying to be good on NETRUNNER and not being good on NETRUNNER. So I think they basically stole my idea for enjoying the game, because my idea is about not trying to be good on NETRUNNER and not being good on NETRUNNER, so I'm kind of double negative. They're kind of negative positive here, but anyway, Neuropanzer and Orbital Tangent here, both people very talented when it comes to art, as you can see on their cover of the podcast. It's they're also very talented about words. Slumscast is very it has several hidden meanings. And they reached episode 5 as well. Not doing a bake-off, I believe. They might be participating in a bake-off. But they're definitely entertaining. Do give them a try. And again, just look for Slumscast, NETRUNNER. You should be able to find them. And a team that has been at it for quite a while. And I have to say that the Kitchen Table NETRUNNER folks are amazing, because episode 21 is nothing to sniff at. They have a holiday special out right now. So they have a lot of stuff to share about the passing year. Obviously, they are doing a bit of a recap. But in general, in all their podcast episodes, you can expect news, tips, and stories from the world of NETRUNNER, the cyberpunk asymmetric card game, which I happen to be talking about quite a lot here today, and sometimes in the past as well. Okay, one more thing about what's going on in the community. You may have heard from me about this already 500 times, but, just to scoop you a bit more, ABR3, also known as Always Be Running 3, also known as the NETRUNNER album, so far with two discs out, is getting a third installment. So tripmirror.bandcamp.com for all the updates. You can also get the other two, the current ones, from there. They're amazing. It's very good illustrative music, definitely by a person that knows the game and loves the game, based on different cards with different themes, with corporations being named in the songs as well. There are actually some lyrics in some of the songs. Well, they're kind of in the background. But anyway, really cool stuff. Do give it a try. I will always and forever be grateful to TripMirror for letting me just use his music in my streams. Today, we're not playing TripMirror because I'm giving you a breather, okay? We're going to be coming back in 2021 with a lot of TripMirror. And SCOOPSMAS. And speaking of music and creations, you should absolutely, totally, if you haven't yet, look for Safcon Galore on YouTube. It's a user account, and there are, so far I think, and there might be more, absolutely awesome 4 songs of the seasonal type, which may or may not include some actual scoops. So just, throwing it out there. Safcon Galore goes by a different name in the community. I'm not going to mention that name because that would be, blowing the lid off several high-octane, super high-profile secrets here. So I want to live, I don't want to suddenly have a rendezvous with some poison before the end of the year. Although some people call that champagne, or some other people call that wine. But yeah, let's just say, take it easy, look for Safcon Galore, go to YouTube, listen to some songs, be chill. You can even sing along, you're probably gonna know the lyrics, and they're also posted under the videos there, so definitely stuff worth experiencing, be you sober or not. Going into the alt arts. So in the alt arts, let's take a very quick look at what has been happening quite very recently, because I don't have insights into everybody's doings, obviously, because there's a bunch of people sitting in their secret galleries on the moon and working on different really cool things. Whereas the things I've spotted in the wild and in the not so wild are the retropixelation or the pixel runner version of several IDs by Nevofix. So I spotted this in the wild on Artist Colony, and they just look awesome. this is, I never had a Game Boy, or I never had a handheld console of that shape or that form factor. But if you look at the art, the pixels, they're just brilliant. I don't even know what the resolution is. I haven't counted the pixels, but they're kind of instantly recognizable, right? I mean, what else is there to say? Ken Express Tenma? Yeah, that's him, with a big Ken Express Tenma head and a big streak of white hair and that familiar red, white, blue combo. I think Ken is actually French. He doesn't want to tell us, because that would be suspicious. But anyway, oh, hey there, Classifox, what's up? So anyway, Haley, Freedom, Kumalo, and Ken Tenma so far. I haven't seen any links there just yet, so I think they're going to be put online for your pleasure and or acquisition purposes soon. Speaking of acquisitions, you can definitely acquire this amazing lo-fi cyberpunk Netrunner girl by Valerian32. So that's another take on Haley. And if you've known Chilled Cow, you know, there's a famous YouTube / Spotify / several other probably locations accounts that share this name, share this identity. But Chilled Cow is basically a music thing, and it inspired a bunch of visual things as well. And here's the lo-fi cyberpunk Netrunner girl. Netrunner visual tribute to that, let's say, inspiration, with Haley Kaplan studying hard here, and this is absolutely awesomely laser cut. And to quote the artist, it's a limited run physical laser cut version of Haley Kaplan, done in 3mm plywood. It has the distinct smell of laser cut pieces. If you ever had a laser cut piece in your hand and under your nose, and your nose was working okay, you know what I'm talking about. It's a smell you won't forget easily. And it's kind of like good whiskey. If you're a whiskey aficionado, or any other pungent, not pungent is actually a negative word, sorry. Any other flavorful and rich smell that you may know from anything else that you enjoy. This has this kind of quality. So yeah, you can find it on Etsy, look for it as well there. It's definitely worth taking a look at. It's a really cool plywood laser cut. And the same person as well, so Valerian32 dropping a bundle of cards recently as well in December. And again, I'm just sharing this with you because this is the information I have. This is the information I could find easily. If you want to let me know about all your other stuff that you have been putting out, do send me an email. There will be at the very end, I'm going to remind people to send me emails if they have any information about it for the next one. But anyway, here we have 6 designs. We have the back, we have Haley Kaplan from that wooden laser cut as well, but here actually in a text and full art version. We have Jeeves, which is semi-colored, and then 3 cards that you can, if you want to, color yourself actually, but you shouldn't, because they're line arts for a reason. So the Celebrity Gift, Biotic Labor, and Earthrise Hotel are part of a bigger series. If I remember correctly, Valerian32 actually put together a big, huge image with a lot of different things on it, and then just took and cut it up. And they have their distinct particular style. They're definitely legal for tournament play and all types of different plays. But basically, they just have this really cool, unique, and very original art style that you might enjoy. Again, you can find these on MPC. And yeah, the tokens, I was going to put the tokens on, very well spotted, Clusterfox, but I just couldn't find any good photos of it, so I just feel a bit silly. But yeah, if you look for Valerian32, or if you look for those Netrunner cards on NPC, you will be able to, probably on Etsy or on NPC, see more of his stuff. Now, are we already that far, or have I actually missed some slides here? I believe we might be getting that far, so we're gonna go to the sports section, and of course, this being Netrunner, there's only one type of sports in Netrunner, which is the metal sports. This is not going to be about the music, this is going to be about events happening. Huge congrats to all the people who participated over the last month, more or less, in a bunch of different events. We had the Hacking Christmas 2020 by Snoopy. Thank you so much, Snoopy, for organizing this. This was really a Christmas thing. And we had Sun topping the whole little but very tricky field with Wayland and Shapers. The format was Salvage Memories. I call it the format, but basically it's standard with the Salvage Memories add-ons. And, you know, that's a new field for a lot of people. We had Berlin and Friends by Snoopy, or sorry, at Friends. organized also by Snoopy, where Mildesorte took the top with Jinteki and Anarch. So again, same format, two different IDs, so a lot of interesting plays in there. And if you look at the events app, I'll always be running. If you look up the write-ups for those decks, you are going to learn quite a few interesting things about the Salvage Memories add-on. Diaper Associates Virtual Experience was organized by Swifty in December as well, and Longi took it with Jinteki and Anarch. And Jinteki and Anarch are popping up here and there quite a lot because they're quite powerful nowadays. Again, that was in Salvage Memories as well. Must have been quite a lot of fun because the diaper events or any event with Swifty in it usually has as well a lot of UK folks playing in it, and the UK meta is formidable to say the least. Father Crypsis comes to Jinteki.net by Hacker Girl. Speaking of the UK meta, Rotom Appliance taking the top here with Jinteki and Criminal, but that was in an event in Standard without Salvage Memories. So that is still around as well. You can actually play Standard, and this is one of the lessons I think from this year for me and probably for a lot of people playing Netrunner. You can actually play this game in so many different ways, in so many different formats. There's so many different options for you to tweak the game and to your own liking, to your own preferred shape and form. So go for it if you want to. Speaking of shapes and forms, the Italian meta has organized a really cool Net Giro d'Italia, and the Tappa 4 was won by Berzelius, who organized it as well. No foul play, indicated or detected there. Berzelius is basically a very good organizer, a very good player. Again, Jinteki and Shaper on top here. Nobody has seen any NBN in a while. Wayland appearing here and there maybe, but Jinteki dominating the field, and Anarchs mostly. Criminals showing up here and there as well. That was Standard as well, the Net Giro d'Italia. And it's good to see people playing Standard because that format still has a lot to offer, and the games, the meta is still quite fun. You might be a bit tired of it, maybe if you've been playing solely Standard for the whole year, but there has been a lot of stuff happening on the outside of Standard, so that's great. And speaking of the outside of Standard, a great new contestant on the tournament format or in the event format Arena appeared quite recently, courtesy of Whiteblade 111. During the Hemophilia charity tournament organized by Whiteblade, we could experience for the first time in its full glory Throwback. So another slight custom moderation to the Standard meta, really juicy, really tasty, really spicy. And who else but Pinzel, so the 2019 world champion, won this with HB, took the top, and with Criminal. So as you can imagine, of course, Asa and Geist. But hey, well, let's not blame Pinzel for just being very devilishly good with the decks that he created and likes a lot. Now, let's talk about the upcoming events in January. And yes, you will probably notice something that I'm going to mention later on as well, but that's going to be a separate stream for separate reasons and whatnot. But we have the GLC RETROPIXELATION 2, the original core, as organized by the people from the Green Level Clearance Discord. I already mentioned that. Really cool series of events. This time they're going for RETRUNNER, so they're basically running a retro tournament, rediscovering the meta together with players new and old to the game. Remote access number 9. Oh, I actually put it twice. Well, never mind. That's just my mistakes. You can see that the editor of this didn't really notice what's going on. But anyway, Salvage Memories. Swan is organizing a Salvage Memories tournament. And Remote Access is one of those online tournaments that you can participate if the time zones align. Speaking of things that might be online or could be offline, who knows what's going to happen in January. Treasure of the Huns by Necro. So this is the Hungarian meta running Salvage Memories. It is a league event, and I know that a lot of people have been enjoying this event in the past. This is the 5th of these, I think. So Treasure of the Huns coming your way, and we're gonna be hopefully enjoying that in January. Versus number 1, and Longi asked me to speak a bit more about it. I'm gonna be very brief about it. Just go to vesper.cyberpunk.me, and this is where you're gonna find the information about Versus. But the idea is you only play the one corp, so you can only play NBN and you can only play Shaper. So your both picks are NBN and Shaper. Any ID that's legit in Throwback is working or is legitimate, and Throwback is the format for this event. And it's a very limited event. It's only 2 teams of 3 people. So there will be only 6 people playing this. There won't be an open field. There won't be a lot of, there won't be 50 tables. It's just 3 tables playing round robin. So 2 teams of 3 people playing against each other, 3 rounds of high quality, hopefully, and fun Netrunner with a meta that's very whittled down in a way because you can only play NBN and Shaper. But you can still, you can tech the hell out of your decks. And I think this is the promise of this format or of this idea. In Versus, you basically know exactly what you're facing. You know exactly what the limitations are. You can dig deep into the historical analysis of decks for those factions, the best ins and outs. And of course, some of these games are going to be terribly skewed one way or another. But this is not about making it fair. This is about exploring the identities, exploring the different factions. And that's the whole idea of Versus. See what is the highest power Shaper play versus NBN, to see what is the highest power NBN option against Shapers, and so on, and to have people just develop this and dig deeper into this, because I think it hasn't been done that much, or maybe it has, I don't know, but I think this is a good way of trying this out, and that's why this is going to be throwback. So again, this standard plus certain cards that you may choose. Well, basically a lot of the cards from the old rotated pool, but it's all defined on the website for Versus. You can find all the information there. Salvage Memories, a store championship happening in England, organized by Quark Butter. I think it's mostly for the Manchester area, but I think if it's going to be happening online, you might be able to jump in. Do check, always be running. It's going to be standard plus Salvage Memories for your entertainment in January. And then probably the highlight of January for me, even though I might not be participating, I might be not even streaming this, but I definitely will watch the stream because it's so much fun. Sanjay is organizing Ocarina. So this is going to be Ocarina 3 with 2 separate dates, one in APAC friendly time and then the other one in the East Coast for US friendly time. It's going to be in the Ocarina format. If you've never heard of Ocarina, just look for Ocarina Netrunner and look it up, and you should be able to find the information. Brilliant idea of a very wacky but such entertaining format and meta. So huge props to Sanjay for running this again. Then we have the same old Lang Syne, the first Eternal event in 2021, baby! QDiva is organizing Eternal, and if you haven't been playing Eternal, maybe 2021 will be the year for you to try Eternal. You definitely should give it a go. It is a fun format for people with brains bigger than mine. I do not qualify, and I will keep repeating this until somebody tricks me into playing Eternal. Remote Access 7 is also happening in January. I don't know what's happening with number 8, probably still in the works, or maybe it was but the single-sided Swiss by Swan, that's again a bunch of S's, in the standard format, that's a lot of S's, is going to be happening in January. And you see access number 9 there at the very bottom. Apologies for that, that shouldn't have been there at all. I blame my editor, terrible editor. Yes, I know. Okay, fair enough. No more talking to yourself? No. Perfect. So there. Anyway, these are the upcoming events in January. I hope to do another update at the end of January for February. So I'm not talking about February, and I'm not talking about Lockdown here, because Lockdown is going to be coming a bit later in January. But yeah, let's give it some time. There will be still an announcement in January. There will be a separate stream for the Lockdown updates and, well, all the scoops about Lockdown, of course, right? Because that's what some people who play Lockdown are looking forward to. I think we had a bit of a break, which was enough for everything to be basically refreshed, updated, and so on. And we're going to be kicking Lockdown again off in January, the 2nd season, with a slightly changed meta, with probably Salvage Memories entering the fray for always. No, probably not. No, we're gonna be going with the format as is. So of course there will be some limitations to your card pool. There will be some spicy picks. There might be some experiments. Lockdown will be coming back. I hope to see you all try it out or come back to it if you've played it already. And there will be some changes. I already talked about these changes. I'm gonna have a stream about it later on in January, just to explain things slowly and easily, and have maybe a Q&A. people want to. Cluster Fox asking if you can plug something. Yeah, please do plug things in text. I'm going to read them later on, back to the stream when I reach the happy end of this. And we're actually very, very, very at the very end of this. And thanks for all the love for Lockdown. Longy, you, the Sly Fox, winning some of these tournaments there, right? Okay, am I pressing the right button here? Probably not. But yeah, now something completely different. And I thought this is going to be an interesting little exploration of what's going out there. The remotest of servers, which means basically, let's take a look at things happening outside of NETRUNNER, but also in the card gaming world, and you know, with a bit of humor, and also with a lot of love and sympathy and support for all the other people playing card games and enjoying card games. So first of all, and this is big news, there's new Black Chantry stuff out, and it sucks your blood and your wallets a bit, but not too much. Vampire: The Eternal Struggle, the 5th edition, is out. It came out in December or at the end of November, if I remember correctly, but basically in the last few weeks. I do have a copy with me here, looking forward to playing it with my friends, a physical copy, as soon as I get a chance to just sit down with a bunch of people who know the game. I have a dedicated Vampire: Eternal Struggle group that we created for this, so this is a bunch of players who kind of invested in the box, because it's not cheap. So I have a bunch of people who are going to kind of co-own the box with me. And to quote the designer that you may have heard of, Richard Garfield, this man, you know, this person, he designed some games here and there, saying basically that if Magic is a hand of poker, Vampire: The Eternal Struggle is a poker tournament. That's the words of the original creator of Vampire: The Eternal Struggle and Magic the Gathering, and that little silly game called Netrunner that then got reborn or retwisted, remixed into Android Netrunner, and nowadays into Netrunner, what I call Netrunner 3.0. By any say, it's by the way registered, and I own all the rights. No, I don't. Anyway, go to blackchantry.com if you want to explore the world of Vampire. There's a heap of decks, and the community for this game has been going on for years now. And just as a quick aside as well, I've watched fairly recently, thanks to a good friend here, a documentary about White Wolf and Vampire, you know, the role-playing game. The card game is not mentioned there much, or at all, to be honest, but it kind of shows you how communities are formed and how communities grow and thrive and then falter and then fall apart a bit, and then how, you know, passion projects that become very popular products might fall apart again, or might just, you know, sink and might disappear from the face of this planet because of things happening the wrong way, or fans just losing their faith. And it's a very interesting documentary. You can probably get it on Vimeo if you rent it for a bunch of euros, like the cost of a beer and a half maybe. You can watch a very interesting, geeky, nerdy, cool documentary about Vampire, the role-playing setting in general. So the card game does not really get a lot of screen time there, but it's a very interesting and fascinating insight into this community, into that, the history of this game and how it worked. And it was a very interesting lesson for me to watch it. So I'm really curious to see how things are gonna continue for that community, for any other gaming community out there that's around a certain idea. Okay, Cluster Fox dropped some info that I'm gonna be reading out to you later on. Vampire: The Rival's coming out in January. I didn't even know that what that is. Probably a board game? Anyway, speaking of forums, I already mentioned that, you know, StimHack was kind of quiet, and the FFG forums, the motherlode of all the FFG product forum support, people talking about stuff and so on, they're actually shutting down in January. I have a screen cap here of the message from FFG Evan, one of the admins, one of the mods, and what FFG community team is, what the team is doing, they're basically just saying, listen, you've been playing the games, you've been doing a great job of just having a lot of fun with the stuff and creating communities on your own in so many different places. We're going to shut the forums down because there's the whole internet of content, and I totally understand that, to be honest. You know, it's in a way, it's an end of an era. You can have, you know, different insights into this, different opinions about it, but I think the community is what matters. And this is another lesson from the werewolf, vampire, werewolf. from the vampire documentary. If you have a great game and you don't have a great community around it, doesn't matter. If you have a great game and a great community, make sure that the community stays around, and they're gonna just take the game and make it theirs. And yeah, I know a story of something like this, you know, but anyway. So yeah, FFG Farm shutting down doesn't mean that FFG is not gonna be releasing games, or no, of course, they're just gonna be closer to the people in different places, I guess. Looking forward to that. Really cool resource as well. I learned a lot of stuff from there around Genesis, the role-playing setting that FFG is releasing, or the engine, more like. And the Legend of 5 Rings. The Legend of 5 Rings still going strong. You can see, of course, the official logo of the 5 Rings card game, RPG. But anyway, the clan letters are getting written. I happen to be slowly dipping my feet back into the Legend of the 5 Rings card game, very slowly, trying to see if it's something for me. I don't know. This could be another, you know, this could be another video stream, or this could be another series of events online to talk about, you know, like me being, or me exploring Legend of the 5 Rings. But basically, the community is again carrying the game a lot, and they definitely, given the model of the Legend of 5 Rings community and developer intertwinement in a way, you know. They're very connected because of the story, because of the lore, because of the way the game works. Yeah, so the representatives of each clan are basically creating a clan letter. And they're sending it from a simple, humble samurai as a representative of that clan, gently informing the clan leader of choice of what is going on in their current situation and requesting an update of the status of the clan. This is a copy pasta as well from the Legend of the 5 Rings community Discord, which is a huge, sprawling community with a lot of stuff happening. They do bake-offs, they do a lot of different things and so on. But when I saw the clan letter, I was like, should we get CEO memos from the Netrunner Corps, maybe? Should we? Shouldn't we? I don't know. Should we get, like, I don't know, like blogs from Smoke or vlogs or something? Did somebody start making, I don't know, Haley Kaplan's margin notes, you know, when she's studying stuff and being academic between all the hacks? She just probably scribbles things on the margins. That could be interesting. But anyway, yeah. So we're looking forward to CEO memos as soon as possible. Get working on it, dear folks, right? Get all the corp CEOs, please write a letter, write a memo to your corps about flatlining people, causing brain damage and all that cool stuff. And this has been it, the news now hour or thereabouts, because this is probably not really an hour. If you have fun or stuff or slow news to share, because this is not about the hottest and the nicest takes or the, you know, the wildest takes just from yesterday. It's more about just sharing what's going on in the community, making a bit of more of a update or some sort of a bulletin just to let you know what's going on. If you want to contribute, do send me your stuff to vesper@cyberpunk.me. I'm going to be talking about it in the next installment, which is going to be happening in January at some point, if I don't forget. I shouldn't forget. But all the official and actual scoops about the state of the meta, about the state of the official products or what have you, well, official for Nisei, of course, for the community, do go to nisei.net. I mean, they're not official anyway, other than what you can say it's official. But yeah, if you want to play Netrunner 3.0, go to nisei.net for all the news. Gateway and update, I hear, are gonna be here soon. No scoops. Okay, and now to Cluster Fox's news. So let me just flick around here. We're here, right? In the month of January, so that's like 2 days away. The first episode of the podcast is coming. So podcast is a friendly group of people getting together to talk about the game. There will be Manic Molman, there will be Sleazy McGee, and Thomas and Clusterfox talking about jank and all its connotations. So basically, yeah, casual and competitive play and how Nisei is catering to those kinds of players. Spicy and a good watch. Do bring your favorite beverage and some snacks, because this is just going to be a bunch of different people with different playstyles and different approaches to the meta, and with their different ideas on how to deck build and how to do cool things with the game, talking about this in January. So the podcast entering the fray. That's really cool. Really looking forward to this. Definitely fun to have more content, more people, more stuff created, more to share. Thank you so much for making this happen. I hope it's going to work out nicely. And do remember to triple test your microphones before you do anything, because I just had, for the first 10 minutes here, huge trouble because of a faulty cable. That's what happens when you have 2020 hardware and a world going for 2021. Anyway, folks, I'm going to be wrapping this up quite shortly, but do let me know if there's anything else you want to talk about, or if there's anything else you want me to mention or give you scoops about, because I don't have any. If you missed today's Metropole Grid, you should totally watch it. It was super entertaining. Andre was playing a bunch of Salvage Memories decks, and basically there was this one moment which I really enjoyed, him going through a list of IDs and just going that something that is cool, something is not cool, something's cool, not cool, or good, not good, passable, and so on. And I started thinking, imagine doing an alphabetic review of Netrunner cards where all the reviews are just one word. And I actually might make it. I actually might do this, and I might try and figure out how to do this in 2021 when we have new cards coming up, and start with all the old cards to review everything together. Well, let's see. Let's see how this is going to work out. I miss you too, dude! I miss everybody. I mean, basically, I miss a lot of people, but I think we're doing all fine, All things considered, 2020 has been a big lesson in many different ways. And I think 2021 is going to be a continuation of that lesson. Hopefully, we're all going to meet one way or another, online, offline, whatever amount of lines you want to include in there. It should work out. I'm really looking forward to seeing you all online or offline, in person or remotely, but definitely sharing time with you, sharing the fun of the game, the enjoyment of it, the fun times that we're gonna have, because there's gonna be new stuff coming out. Don't be fooled by all the delays. Don't be fooled by all the testing happening in the background. There is new stuff much closer than you think. And no, this is not me trying to spoil a release tomorrow. Don't worry, that's not gonna happen. Or maybe, no. Anyway, looking forward to hanging with all of you and playing Among Us and among other people and all that stuff. I just came up with a brilliant crossover. Among The Last of Us. Basically like Among Us, but with The Last of Us, so... Well, anyway. If you make that into a game and you conquer the market of video gaming in 2021, based on my idea, congratulations to you, you're an awesome developer and whatnot. Having said all those things, having said all the silly things, I believe it is time for me to head out slowly into the night and wish you all the best. Wish you a good end of this year. Wish you a great start of the next year. I personally don't believe in Santa or calendars or any other things. Well, let it just be said that I enjoyed a ton making things for you in my amateurish ways for the last several months, for the last few months, make it 9, let's say. And I'm really looking forward to doing more stuff in 2021 with people around Netrunner and with hopefully with people not around Netrunner as well. No spoilers just yet, but it's gonna be fun, I hope. Take good care, everybody. Stay safe, stay warm, stay cold if it's too hot around you. Stay cool, basically. Keep going, keep running. We'll meet on the other side of the calendar change. And there will be more of everything, including Versus and Lockdown coming in 2021. Get ready to lock down and whatnot. Thanks so much. Take care. I am signing off and transitioning into the night. Ciao.